Life has a way of unfolding in seasons. For many of us, there is the season of youth, filled with dreams and endless possibilities. Then comes the season of building, where we create families, nurture careers, and pour ourselves into others. For me, and for so many women I know, the season of motherhood was all-encompassing. It was a beautiful, demanding, and deeply fulfilling time. It was a time of scraped knees, school plays, and late-night homework sessions. It was a time of putting someone else's needs, dreams, and future before your own, and doing it with a love so fierce it could move mountains. It was a blessing. But what happens when that season begins to change? What happens when the nest starts to empty and the house grows quiet in the middle of the day? For me, this moment of change didn't arrive with a loud bang. It was more like a quiet stirring in my soul. It was a whisper that started on a Tuesday afternoon, sitting in my kitchen with a cup of tea. The silence wasn't lonely, not exactly. It was spacious. It was a space that had been filled for so long with the beautiful chaos of family life. And now, in that new space, a question began to form. What's next for me? This question can be scary. It can feel selfish even. After years of being the sun in your family's solar system, it feels strange to think about your own orbit. We can feel a sense of guilt for wanting something more, something just for ourselves. Is it okay to want a new dream when you've already been blessed with so much? I'm here to tell you that it is more than okay. It is essential. It is the next beautiful chapter of your life waiting to be written. The love you have for your family doesn't shrink. Your world just expands to hold a new dream for yourself. That quiet stirring is the universe calling you to grow. It's a sign that you have more to give, more to learn, and more to become. For years you have been a manager, a negotiator, a teacher, and a chief financial officer of your household. You have been the CEO of your family. The skills you've honed are powerful. The wisdom you've gained is priceless. This isn't an ending, it's a transition. It's the moment you realize that the second half of your life can be just as vibrant, meaningful, and exciting as the first. This is the beginning of your reinvention. Becoming a CEO at 50 may seem like a fantasy, but it's possible. Society puts us in boxes. Mother, wife, a certain age. But the only real limits are the ones we place on ourselves. The journey from mum to CEO is about self-discovery, channeling love, resilience, and wisdom into something new. It's a story of courage, reinvention, and turning the page to your next chapter. Let's do it together. For 25 years, my life was a tapestry woven with the threads of motherhood. Each day brought new colors and meaning. I was mum, keeper of schedules, healer of scraped knees, teller of bedtime stories. As my children grew and left, the house grew quieter. My role changed, but the tapestry remained, a finished work of love. Now I stand before a blank canvas, ready to weave a new story. The desire for something more didn't appear overnight. It was a slow, quiet bloom. Small moments like helping my son brainstorm or leading a community event planted seeds of ambition. Inspired by stories of women starting companies later in life, I wondered, could my skills as a mother build something new? The role of mum was my past, but CEO was starting to sound like a possible future. The seeds of a new ambition were taking root. With every spark of excitement came a wave of doubt. The loud, critical voice in my head asked, "Who do you think you are? You haven't worked in decades. Technology has left you behind. I felt the sting of ageism, the weight of others' skepticism. But beneath the noise, a deeper truth stirred. Growth only happens outside our comfort zones. It's never too late to write a new story or to prove that courage has no age limit. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. For me, that step was enrolling in a community college course. Introduction to Small Business Management. Walking onto campus, I felt out of place, older, uncertain, clutching my notebook. But the professor, a seasoned entrepreneur, reframed my years as a mother as valuable experience. In that classroom, I wasn't just a mom, I was a future entrepreneur. The course gave me structure, community, and the push to take my ideas seriously. Each assignment built my confidence, and connecting with classmates showed me I wasn't alone. The first step is the hardest, but it's what turns dreams into plans. After the excitement faded, fear crept in, a mountain of what-ifs. What if I fail? What if I lose money? What if I'm not enough? The unknown was overwhelming. Every decision felt huge. I'd always valued security, so risking our savings felt reckless. But I learned to see fear as a compass, pointing to where I needed to grow. Instead of letting what-ifs paralyze me, I answered them with what-thens. I couldn't climb the whole mountain at once, but I could take one step at a time. Beyond fear, I faced the ghost of invisibility. In business settings, I was often overlooked. My experience dismissed, my voice unheard. Age stereotypes stung, making me question if I belonged. A dismissive encounter at a pitch event left me humiliated, but also sparked a quiet resolve. I realized I wouldn't let others define my worth. I'd prove my value through preparation, knowledge, and passion. I decided not to fade into the background. I would become a force they couldn't ignore. Every journey has stumbles. Mine came early. My first investor pitch was a disaster. Tech failures, missing pieces, tough questions. I left feeling crushed, my self-doubt roaring back. For a week I wanted to quit, but I forced myself to review what went wrong. Their criticisms were valid. My research was shallow, my projections optimistic. That failure wasn't the end. It was a lesson, a free consultation on what to fix. Failure became the plot twist that made me stronger. Getting back up after failure takes grit. I called the toughest critic from my pitch, asked for honest feedback, and got a roadmap instead of pity. I learned the business world respects resilience and a willingness to learn. Failure became data, not a verdict. Every no was a redirection, not a rejection. I celebrated small acts of courage, calls, workshops, rewriting my plan. My purpose was bigger than any setback, to prove I could grow and create new chapters. I had fallen, but I'd also learned how to fly. After my first stumble, I realized passion and experience weren't enough. I needed knowledge, a blueprint to turn my vision into reality. Education became my most powerful tool, rebuilding my confidence on a foundation of competence. Each class was a tool, each lesson a step forward. Don't let going back to school intimidate you. Embrace being a beginner. Invest in yourself and your future. Building a business in isolation is like trying to build a house without a construction crew. It's incredibly difficult, and you miss out on the expertise and support of others. Networking is about building relationships, creating a community of people who can offer guidance, share experiences, and open doors. It turns a lonely path into a collaborative journey. Start building your community now. Reach out, listen, share, and support others. The connections you make will support you as you build your dream. After years away, the business world felt like a fast-moving train I'd missed. My analog skills needed a digital upgrade. Facing my fear of technology, I embraced learning. Awkward at first, but each small victory built my confidence. Social media, business software, project management tools, I tackled them one by one. With patience, I proved to myself and others that I could adapt, lead, and thrive. You are far more capable than you think. Listening to the stories of other women became my greatest source of inspiration. I read memoirs, listened to podcasts, and attended webinars, each story a masterclass in resilience. Women like Vera Wang and Carol Gardner showed me that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Their journeys lit the way for my own, reminding me that hard things are worth doing and that we're never alone. There comes a point where learning must transition into doing. After months of education, networking, and skill building, I had gathered all the pieces. I had my blueprint from my finance courses, my construction crew from my network, and my new toolkit of digital skills. The mountain of what-ifs no longer seemed so insurmountable. Now, it was time to put it all together. It was time to rebuild my business plan, not as a hopeful dream, but as a strategic, data-driven document. This was the moment where I would synthesize everything I had learned and forge it into a concrete plan of action. I took my original failed presentation and laid it side by side with my stacks of new notes. It was a painful but necessary exercise. I methodically went through every section, replacing my old, optimistic guesses with solid, researched facts. My shallow market analysis was replaced with a detailed report on my target demographic, competitor landscape, and unique value proposition. My flimsy financial projections were replaced with a comprehensive 3-year forecast, complete with cash flow statements, break-even analysis, and contingency plans. The document that emerged was honestly almost unrecognizable from the original. It was strong, it was detailed, and it was defensible. This process was more than just an academic exercise. It was the act of taking control of my own destiny. With every spreadsheet I built and every market statistic I analyzed, I was silencing the voice that said I wasn't smart enough. With every connection I made in my network, I was banishing the ghost of invisibility. I was no longer just a mum with a nice idea. I was the founder and CEO in training of a real venture. I was building the case for my own success, not for others, but for myself. The plan taking shape on the pages in front of me was the physical manifestation of my transformation. The final step was to create a clear, step-by-step launch sequence. What needed to happen first? Registering the business legally. What came next? Finalizing the prototype with a new designer. Then building a simple website. I broke down the massive goal of launching a business into a series of small, manageable tasks, each with a deadline. This action plan transformed my anxiety about the future into a focus on the present. I didn't have to worry about what would happen in a year. I just had to focus on completing this week's tasks. The path was no longer a vague and foggy notion. It was a clearly marked road, and I was finally ready to start walking. No business is built in a vacuum, and neither is a dream. The most important presentation I ever made wasn't to investors, but to my family. I needed them to see this new venture not as something that would take me away, but as a chapter that could enrich us all. Their support became my first real victory, my family, my first team. Together, we began building this dream as a family. Beyond my family, I discovered the profound importance of true friends. These women have been with me through every season, celebrating joys, sharing struggles, and reminding me to be kind to myself. Their friendship is my anchor, my safe harbor, and my fiercest support. In the whirlwind of reinvention, they keep me grounded, laughing, and moving forward. Nurture these connections. They are your most sustainable source of strength. While friends provided emotional support, I knew I needed professional guidance, a mentor who had already navigated this path. Finding a mentor was intimidating, but I learned people are often willing to help if you approach them with humility and a genuine desire to learn. I reached out for advice, not answers, and those first conversations were like finding a treasure map. Mentorship is about listening, showing respect, and building a relationship. The right mentor opens doors and helps you walk through them. Beyond my family, friends, and mentor, I discovered the incredible power of a broader community. This was the village of fellow travelers, other women who were also in the midst of their own reinventions. I found them in online forums for female entrepreneurs, in local women in business networking groups, and even in the study groups from my college courses. This was a different kind of support system. It wasn't based on long-standing relationships, but on a shared present-day experience. We were all in the trenches together, facing similar challenges and celebrating similar victories. This sense of shared purpose created an instant and powerful bond. This community became my peer-to-peer learning lab. If I was struggling with a digital marketing campaign, I could post a question in a forum and get 10 different suggestions from women who had faced the same problem. If someone else needed help refining a survey, I could offer my insights. We shared resources, recommended vendors, and vetted ideas for each other. It was a collaborative ecosystem where everyone was invested in each other's success. In a competitive business world, this spirit of a rising tide lifts all boats was a refreshing and incredibly effective way to learn and grow. It was a daily reminder that collaboration is more powerful than competition. The emotional support from this village was just as important as the practical advice. When I felt the sting of ageism or the frustration of a setback, I could share my experience with a group of women who immediately understood. Their responses of me too, and I've been there, were incredibly validating. They normalized the struggle. They made me realize that my challenges were not unique personal failings, but common hurdles on the entrepreneurial path. This shared experience transformed my feelings of isolation into a sense of solidarity. I was not a lone warrior fighting a solitary battle. I was part of an army of determined, resilient women. Building this village requires active participation. It means showing up for the networking events, even when you're tired. It means not just asking for help in the forums, but also offering it. It means celebrating the successes of other women as enthusiastically as you would your own. This is how you build your community, by being a good community member. This network becomes a powerful safety net. It catches you when you fall and provides a crowd to cheer you on as you climb. Your support system, your family, friends, mentors, and community is the foundation upon which your new life will be built. You cannot and should not do it alone. The journey from mum to CEO was not a straight line. It was a winding path filled with steep climbs and breathtaking views. The true reward was meeting a new version of myself at the end of that path. I'm still a mother, a wife, a friend, now also a founder, a leader, an innovator. The skills I honed as a mother became my superpowers in the boardroom. This new identity is not a replacement, but an expansion. My cup is overflowing. The true celebration is living a life that inspires others to say yes to themselves. If you feel that quiet stirring in your soul, know this: your dream is a calling, not a fantasy. The world may say your time has passed, but your wisdom and experience are your strength. You don't need a perfect plan. Just take the first small step. Your age is your advantage. Your past is your foundation. Today is a new day. The canvas is blank. What masterpiece will you create? Your journey awaits. Begin.